Charlotte.
I just gave it to you. Knocking. Hello, everybody. Okay. Knock, knock. It's 7:15. We're going to get started again.
I can't read Spanish.
Flip the other side, please. Okay, so.
Wow.
Number 10, we're going to discuss and/or possible action approving and authorizing execution of a contract with Rehab Engineering to construct municipal building ramp pursuant to the American with Disabilities Act. Douglas Thomasini, you have some information on that?
Yeah, it's a contract that was prepared by our attorney, so it's, and it was agreed to by Mr. Hernandez. He's also provided the $12.95 with the, I don't know if you were, did he send you a copy? He signed it.
So it's a formality, the proper contract that we are doing with him.
It's the same work, the same price. It just adds that he will construct the ramp pursuant to ADA.
If
Okay.
anybody wants to look at it, it's the same as the one we had the last time. This one's just signed. Yes.
Okay.
He's just doing the ramp, correct? Yeah.
So we're going to approve the final contract to construct the ramp as per contract that we have here.
I'll make a motion that we approve the contract.
Okay. So Alderman Thomasini has made a motion to accept the contract, and we have Alderman Rapino second the motion. Mr. Tremblay, have you had time to look at it?
I know the grant is important and we need to move forward with it, so I'm gonna, I have not had a seat in the contract to say, I can abstain, but it'll still pass.
Okay, so can I have a show of hands for passing the contract? The contract passes, we move forward with that.
Who seconded?
Tom,
How long will it take?
It takes about 2 weeks.
Did he order the ramp?
Probably not until we sign the contract.
Yeah, in the middle ramp, he orders it and it's already,
He makes the I don't know if he makes it himself or if he gets it made somewhere else, but we have the plans of how it's going to be made. I don't know if he does it. I mean, he may have people that does it for him, I'm sure, right now.
he wasn't gonna order the materials until we did sign the contract and it was approved, and then he said it would take about a day once to complete.
Oh,
This is metal ramp,
yes.
eliminate extruded metal or, slew. I'm sure you probably gonna have it fabricated, so.
Yeah.
okay, so that one passes. We're gonna move on to number 11. Discuss and/or possible action approving an interview process for possible job candidates for Public Works Animal Control employee position. I just wanted to solidify, different cities and different councils do it different ways. Some will do, bigger cities will have a pile and they'll eliminate. I don't think we're ever going to come to that. But we can have the mayor pro tem screen them before they come to council and maybe just give the top 3 or the top 5 that we have.
We only have one, right?
Well, for this position, yes, but just as a general rule, he lives in another city and is wanting to move. So are we going to have a phone interview with him then, if that's the best he can do, or do we need to have him physically present?
I think we should have a physically present.
Okay. Okay, so I'll go ahead and ask the candidate to be physically present for our next meeting, so you can, in actuality, when we do a hiring process, we should have a set of questions for that job description. So maybe if the alderman, you could create 2 questions that apply, because across the board, if we had more candidates, then we would have to ask each and every candidate the same question.
What, does it have to be at a meeting, or can we do an interview before the next meeting?
Well, if there's a majority of council members, it would need to be a meeting. If it's designated to the mayor or 2 council members, then.
Then we could bring the recommendations.
And then bring a recommendation to council.
Yeah, because we need to get somebody quick. I mean, the animals are just getting way out of hand.
Okay, so or we could do a special meeting with that once we get him.
I'm gonna hold the meeting if the guy's not acceptable, so somebody needs to screen.
He does right now.
So we can, like you say, combine, it really runs into number 11 and 12. Not only do we have to, and 13, we're talking about the candidate's resume. We have one for Public Works and Animal Control employee. I didn't think this guy was real, but he is actually.
He's trying to move here.
He's trying to move here near his family. He's done everything. He's Public Works right now. He's done animal control, and I believe I saw he did some marshal work, road work. It's just a dream come true. I would really like to get him in here and interviewed right away. He's been fire chief, fire marshal, firefighter, volunteer fire department as well. He's been police chief for another police department. So he's lived in a small town, and it sounds that like ours, where one person does several things. Do you want to say it?
Well, I have a.
Oh, you have his resume. Oh, good. Okay, so everybody, that's his resume.
Can we interview him, or at least talk to him before the next meeting?
Well, that's what I want you to do. Decide how you want to proceed with this particular candidate, and we can go forward with that on the process. How would you like to do it? We can do it any way you want to do
Well,
it.
that's the way I'd like to do it. I'm not the only one here.
Well, I agree with you. You know, we can talk beforehand. You know, let them know that we're really interested in them, so we can actually hire the guy and get him working.
She wants to know what you said.
So I agree with him. You know, we should talk to him before the next meeting to let him know that we're very interested in him. So that way, you know, he'd be ready to come to work for us as soon as we approve it. You know, because I agree with all of y'all. The dog population, the animal population in here is getting way out of hand, really bad. So we need to do
So
something
you want
as
the
fast as possible.
alderman and the mayor to interview him first?
Well, let's make a decision.
Yeah, I want to know how you want to proceed. Phone conversation?
I think you ought to
Have
do
a
it.
phone
Come here.
conversation.
One-on-one. Do one-on-one phone.
Yeah, well, that'll be the next thing. We'll have to, you know, he's gonna wanna know what we're gonna pay him.
Right.
Does he have a salary, like he had a chief, what is he?
Doesn't, I don't think he said.
He did not indicate a salary preference yet.
I'm looking at some of his qualifications, and I see he's got public works stuff, says the animal control, I also see some code enforcement stuff in here. And if we look at what we're going to offer this individual for a salary, we need to look at our budget and see what we've got available for those positions, and probably dual hatting, maybe triple hatting. So we may be able to cover more than one base here. I don't know, we're doing
Can we hear?
I like to,
We can talk to him and see if we want to hire him, and then if we think he can fill all these different jobs, then we can give him a probationary period, offer him so much for the probationary period, and if he fits the bill, then we can incrementally raise his salary. I've done that in the past.
well, for the next meeting, I was going to show you a hiring packet as far as reference checks and all of that stuff. I guess depending on salary or contract or employee, you know, it's different for employee or contract.
Well, I'll make a motion in that somebody from the council talk to him before our next meeting to try to schedule an interview to speak to him.
All of you should talk to
I
him.
think we know what we know what his qualifications are on paper.
Yeah.
We need to run some checks and
We need
talk to
to
him.
develop a job description.
We have a job description that Marcus John had provided us with, and I think we use that for the advertisement as well.
So do we have just the public works and the animal control portion in there? Do we want to?
Yes.
Code enforcement, do we want to add?
We haven't changed it because we didn't think we'd have an applicant that's qualified.
And I think that's one of the reasons we need to talk to him. We need to find out what he's willing to do. That way we'll know how much to pay.
Do we know how old he is?
No,
He's been
no.
around, it sounds like he's older.
Can't ask that.
You can't ask that.
He graduated high school in '92, so that gives us an idea.
Okay, so I can go ahead and schedule, I can schedule a phone conversation with him. And based on the, I have to emphasize, I mean, I did take a class. They said we have to ask the same questions, you know, that apply to his job. So depending on what we're looking at, we did animal control and also public works director, and those is where my questions will be.
Well, but I made a motion. You want, I mean, I can withdraw it or we can.
Okay, I'm sorry. You made a motion to go ahead and have somebody contact him and talk to him. Okay, somebody would be myself? Okay,
No.
that's fine. Okay, so
Well,
Douglas,
I need somebody to second it.
okay,
If
so
somebody wants to.
Douglas Thomasini motion to have somebody talk to him. I'll be happy to do that. Does anybody second motion?
I'll second.
Alderman Rapino second the motion to go ahead
So who's
and
gonna
phone
contact-
conversation.
Okay, hold on. Who's gonna contact him? You are?
I can.
Why not more than one?
No.
Why not all of you?
Thomasini can if you like.
Darcy, you can.
Okay, so let's do Douglas Thomasini, go ahead and contact him. That's fine. Excuse me, hello. Thank you. We're trying to work here. Thank you so much. Douglas Thomasini, would you like to contact him, please? Okay. All right, so we make a motion for Douglas Thomasini. He made a motion that he will contact him and go ahead and have a conversation with him so he can be present for our next
And
meeting.
that doesn't mean we can't all talk to him. I just
Right.
want to contact him.
Right, okay. Yeah, well, I've been contacting him, so that's fine. And you second, so do we have a show of hands to go ahead and move forward with this candidate? Thank you. I can go ahead and table number 12 to go ahead and wait till we have that discussion for salary, benefits, and compensation. If you feel that you need to interview him first at the council meeting and then make him an offer at that time if it's acceptable.
Can I ask what Marcus John said, suggested for salary?
He did, I believe it was like 32,000 for part.
I can't remember what it was.
So it's not going to be the same, not for this person, if all the qualifications are
I mean, that's for us to decide.
Right.
We don't have to follow that.
right. So we can go ahead and do that. We kind of discussed already 13. Number 14, discuss and or possible action approving the cost for mayor and aldermen to attend the TML budget and tax rate workshop. We are already doing our budget for the next fiscal year, and they do offer this. It does fill up very, very quickly, and it's in May, I believe, Charlotte.
The budget is in May 24th in Austin.
Okay, so that's it's physical, and it's for one day. for one day?
I think it is one day.
So I put Alderman there because some Aldermen were interested in going.
Yeah, it's just one day.
It's in
How
Boston.
much is
Austin,
it?
yeah. It's online, it's 85, and on-site or by mail to pay, it's 105.
So they have an online class?
No, they have an online pay.
Pay, right. So
Pay
it's cheaper
online.
to pay, but you still have to go to Austin. They have other locations, but Austin is the closest.
Austin or Beaumont,
Yeah.
and it's from 8:30 till 3 o'clock.
What, does it say what day? That's okay.
Okay. Does anybody motion or have any questions about the workshop? Or
Do you have a description of it?
it goes over the taxes
I
and
have the agenda, so
are we including travel expenses as well?
It says that it's,
I didn't write it down.
you want me to read what it is?
Yes.
It's a discussion of the requirements of chapter 102 and 103 of the local government code, along with the general overview of the laws concerning the property tax rate setting process, a basic overview of what a city budget actually looks like, including a discussion of the different approaches the city can take to the budgeting process, a look at the important calculations and the key players in the tax rate process, lunch. And questions you were afraid to ask about budgeting and tax rates. I guess that's a question and answer. And then the last part is elected officials share their experiences with political issues involving collecting and spending taxpayer dollars and how to survive the tug of war between citizens who want lower taxes and those who want increased investment in city services and infrastructure. That's what it is.
Well, I know Alderman Rapino. Excuse me, hello. Quiet, please. Quiet, please. Quiet, please. Could you, please?
You're gonna throw me out?
And,
Are we going to be able to work?
I don't know. Are you?
She's distracting me, sir. I need for her to be dismissed for now.
and what is the motion? Or
10-minute timeout.
The motion is to go ahead and go ahead and approve the cost, which would include travel costs, gas costs, plus also the cost of the class. And this is a very popular class. It fills up right away. The officials go. I know Alderman Rapino, you were interested in also learning more about budget and everything. And I know I'm interested, definitely.
Do we have this, do we already have these funds in the budget?
Yes, we do. We have $800 available for, and $200 for travel.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we usually don't use it. We've been very frugal with that. But this is something that is very worthy.
Y'all would need to approve either a not to exceed cost or a cost for all this, or in compliance with the budget.
I'm sorry, what?
So y'all would need to approve like specify a cost instead of just the cost.
Oh, okay.
For the group, or, so who would be interested?
What are the online registration? What is it?
It's 185.
That's right.
it's 85 online and 105 by mail or when you get there.
So that would be times however many people that.
All right, we have $800, 100 for 5 people. If they all want to go, we can always carpool, save money.
There's six of you.
In my own. Yeah.
Well, I'd
That's
like-
right, I
I'd
know.
like to go. I mean,
I'd like to go as well.
Good.
Rapina will go.
so-
No, I'll do it online and pay my own.
It's not online, you pay online. It's in person in Austin.
Oh,
You only pay on.
oh,
It's cheaper when you pay online. So you pay $85, it's cheaper. Alderman Garcia, are you interested in going to a budget workshop? Anybody else? Mr. Tremblay? Alderman Tremblay?
Check with
No,
Greg.
okay. And we don't know about Charles, but Charles did tell me he was interested as well. That's 5 people times 100 or 85. That'd be $500. Plus what? No, I didn't, no. Yeah, I'm saying, but he doesn't want to go.
No, I want myself.
You will. So it's for 4 people. We have a funder for himself, and it's tax deductible.
So Garcia, Thomasini, and Fillinger, and you?
Yes.
So that's-
And that would include reimbursement of gas.
How about carpooling?
We are carpooling. Whoever wants to go in the same car can go.
$340.
$340, that'd be great. Okay, so do I have a motion, somebody?
That's,
That's the workshop cost, not.
okay, I'll make a motion then that we pay, the city pay for 4 people to go to the workshop for a total of $340. That's 85 times 4, right? Is that right?
And then what about gas?
And
Yes.
it's, Austin's not that far. Yeah, so gas is fine, $20. Okay, we have a motion to go ahead and pay for 4 people, $340 for the budget and tax rate workshop. Do we have a second?
Alderman.
And Alderman Tremblay will second. Show of hands for approval for the payment of. Okay, the motion passes. I'm going to go ahead and pull number 15. Our engineer has grant writing services, so does Grant Works, and we have time all the way through July, so I'm going to pull that one. Number 16, discuss and/or possible action approving an estimate for mowing with a different contractor. Our old contractor, Two Ponies, is no longer doing commercial property. Charlotte, did you?
I have one bid from D&C Services over on Priest Road. They will do the island median up there where the Waterwood sign is for $60. They will mow and weed the city park for $650. Two Ponies did the park for $625 and the island for $65. So it's really pretty close.
And they have all the equipment.
They're the only ones that are committed to it. They said they would do the right-of-ways, but we need to know how we want to bid that out, per mile, per, street, how you want to pay him to do those right-of-ways.
And I saw he has all the equipment like John had mentioned, so,
So we can do the park stuff first, and then we'll do the right-of-ways after we decide how to let him bid it.
Excuse
do I
me,
have a motion?
May I make a comment, Ms. Ganguma?
Yes, ma'am, please. Yeah, I know you work
Okay,
with Two Ponies.
When you're considering mowing the park, you have to consider that there is a whole swale that's a runoff from the rain that goes across that entire park. If you continue to mow that, then all of the natural grasses are not going to grow. Eventually, you're going to end up with a barren area, and you're going to have massive erosion, which is why that area hasn't been mowed on a regular basis before. So please stop mowing that area. And it's very easy to spot. Both sides of the park come down like this, down at the bottom. That's where the runoff is. Please don't mow that area.
And can we have you as a park expert for Charlotte to lean on, so when they go out there, you can help her identify?
Absolutely.
We would love to
I've
use
offered
this
it in the
resource.
past.
Thank you so much, BJ. I really appreciate it.
I've
Charlotte,
offered it in the past.
you call her when they're gonna go out and look at it, so she can show them where everything needs to be done. Thank you so much, BJ.
Hey, do we need a motion then to?
Yes. Yes, can we have motions, please?
I'll make a motion. And what's
Yep.
the DNC?
D&C Services.
I'll make a motion that we have DNC Services mow the park and the entry. And is it, what are they gonna do to the entry?
The island, yeah.
Just weed it or something?
And clean
Is that going to be as needed or?
One
Is
I'm
it-
sure, I'm sure, because I told
You
them
call
to get
each and
on-
every time when you need something. Yeah, we don't call consistently or set it up.
A total of, what are those two added together?
6 and
7:10.
7, proposed 7.
Okay, we have a motion from Doug Thomasini to go ahead and approve D&C for mowing for the island, $60, and park $650, which adds up to $710. Do I have a second? Okay, so Alderman Garcia seconds. The motion, show of hands to go ahead with the mowing. Okay. Unanimous? Thank you. Okay. Number 17, this is a resolution 2017-76 regarding National Night Out, to authorize the clerk or mayor to register the city with the National Night Out organization, and to authorize the city park for National Night Out events if available. Damian Gibbs is generous, and he's still on board with having it over there. The idea of this was to go ahead, it's ownership, kind of like, go ahead, like you said, open the park, start using the park. This is October, we can work towards something so the community can come together. I know Mickey Ball has been working with the fire and the police department. I have some ideas for free movies and some activities as well. I know other people have ideas. I wanted an animal table with free stuff on it and education, and we could all come together in the park. You're right, it is time to open the park. It is time to go ahead and celebrate coming together in that one place and getting it the way it should be and getting people engaged. What do you say? And I'll go ahead and I'll be your organizer, planner, just as a go-to person on behalf of the city, making lists, working with Charlotte, making sure we don't go over on our budget, and that sort of thing. And I know some of the food vendors from the Sunday shops are willing to help us out too with their presence and their expertise on their food. They do have health inspections. So there's so many things that we can do, and it would be a great time for the city to come together and make that our park again. What do you say?
The National Night Out event is already registered by someone else.
Well, for the city, it's not. Maybe for that particular, but maybe it's for this year. But the city is a sponsor of it, and from now on, we should probably.
Sponsor.
We can have our city National Night Out in the park if they want to have it in the park. If they want to keep it over at Damian Gibbs, but it is a city event.
Organizing things, I think that's a good idea, Ms. Kennedy.
Okay, so let's work with this, BJ. Let's go ahead and work with this together. We have 6 whole months or more, and that's plenty of time to organize an event.
Organized.
Everybody has block parties. Everybody has block parties. They can have their block parties if they want. We recognize the National Night Out event.
Good luck.
You can still have it at Damian Gibbs, but we're going to open the park and have some as well. So if that's what the aldermen decide to do.
What are we amending? What did we change?
We're not amending. We're changing the fact that since we recognize it as an event, that the clerk or the mayor, they can go ahead and register the city on their website, and then authorize the city to have a sponsored event in the park. Just finally doing some ownership there, taking it away from, not that private property isn't good, but the city, it is one of our events.
There should be I don't know if there's a red line resolution in y'all's packets that show what was added.
Oh,
So, yeah, we already have the resolution.
That's all that was.
It was, for the mayor to register the city and then designating the location.
And if the park is not acceptable or available, we can have it somewhere else. We can ask Damian Gibbs if he'd be happy to include our events there with his block party or that block party. Any more discussion?
Okay, then I'll make a motion that we amend resolution
Quiet, please.
2016-76.
Okay, so we have a motion to amend. We have a motion to amend Resolution 2017-76 regarding National Night Out to authorize the city clerk or mayor to register the city with National Night Out, to authorize the city park as the official site for the National Night Out event for the city. Do I have a second? Does that mean we're not amending? So do I have a second? Discussion, please. What are your thoughts on this? Go ahead, Alderman Garcia. What do you think?
I don't think we should have National Night Out in the park.
There's no lighting.
To the point that you're gonna let these people know that we're gonna have it there, and then all of a sudden, you don't have it there. Why is it gonna take 6 months to fix the park and get it up and running? That's right, it should. So we should get on the park now
Well, yes.
to where we can open it up for the summertime, okay?
Yes,
And get it
be open.
going for National Night Out,
Right.
to where everybody will be comfortable being in there,
Right.
not wait till the last
Well, we're
minute.
not, this is not about this park.
We're authorizing it to be held there.
Yeah.
Okay, I know you're authorizing it.
It's up to
be
us
held
to
there.
open the park.
Okay,
Well, the park should be open way ahead of time.
then more or less, how long will it take?
I don't know, Thomas,
As soon as that's full, I would say as soon as that's full.
Well, we're gonna
it
do
would be
something
nice
about
to
that
have it
pool, right?
open for the
Yes,
summer.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
coming.
for the kids.
And why we're complicating it worked okay last year,
Right.
so why are we complicating things?
The whole idea of National Night Out is for people to turn on their porch lights and come out in their street with their neighbors and have little block parties, not so much
Yeah.
having a big city party.
Right.
And if Damon wants to do something in front of his businesses, that's part of the neighborhood. I just don't see us doing something as a city-sponsored event. I think it's up to, it's an individual thing. I think that's why National Night Out was started. It began that way for folks to turn on their porch light, come out and mingle and meet with their neighbors. That's the idea of National
Well, the
Night Out.
city gets registered, so, who's registering us for the city?
Maybe already has, I believe.
So isn't that the responsibility of the city to register themselves?
No, it's the responsibility of every citizen to participate in the event, how
We
they want
register
to.
that the city is recognizing National Night Out. Not
Yes.
so much that we're having a city event for National Night Out.
Right.
We celebrate and participate as neighborhoods.
Nobody
And
knows.
if you wanna
So
go
if
visit someone.
anybody wanted to use the park for their
They would be
national night out,
welcome
they'd be
to it.
welcome to, it. It'd be open for that.
Sure.
Yeah, that's exactly right, they should, if they wanted to do it in the park, they could do it in the park.
I'll
Kind of revamp
piggyback
it.
on what Alderman Garcia said, let's get the park done. The
Right.
park is not, it's been since 2014, since it became a city, the park has been no park. Let's get the park up and running, something that. the
This
city
was
can
brought
be
to my
proud of.
attention because the funds were going to be addressed for that already 6 months ahead of time. I thought that was ahead, but I did put it on there, and I thought something should go on there to talk about cost and time and, what the idea. Because I know Alderman Rapino said it was a tight squeeze with time and money, and he didn't want to wait till last minute, so I understand that.
I don't see why we're changing anything. We could do it just the way we did last year, just authorize.
And Damien, you're perfectly good with that, right? Everybody's welcome to,
Authorize
Yeah,
the
well,
funding.
we handled
and-
National Night Out, Mickey Ball's been handling that, it's been turning out fine, everybody's getting to know each other, and it's been a real nice thing, so.
but do you know, I was harassed by BJ and Mickey, and I was forbidden to go, and if I wasn't sick, then I was harassed not to go, and I told you that already. So nobody should be harassed to be able to actually participate.
You chose not to go.
If I start stuff and I don't even
My attorney has all your emails, thank you.
You chose not to go.
We need to get back on our.
Let's get back on track. We just want a place where everybody feels welcome, that's all. I mean, everybody feels
Always
welcome.
open for the city. You know, focus on the park. My place is always open for the city, so you don't have to worry about that. Focus on the park.
Thank you,
Open it.
Damon.
We'll throw y'all opening party and we'll get some of our vendors to go down there and
Karen,
help
you
you
did
get
get
stuff like that. So
a,
we
you know,
can
a second, so
get it open.
So we need to move on. We're going to go ahead and table this. Okay. So it did not pass. I didn't get a second. Number 18. Oh, okay. So number 18, discuss our plan on the mayor's plans for organizing, planning, implementing the national activities on behalf of the city. Apparently, you guys, am I representing the city in this, or that's what the ordinance says?
That's what your newsletter says too.
And that's what it says. That whoever wants, wants me to help them organize that, that's fine.
But your newsletter says you're gonna organize and coordinate it, but that's not even been approved. Are you gonna
It's
be
in
able
the
to-
ordinance. It's in the ordinance. We have it in the ordinance.
That the mayor is the organizer and
Yes.
coordinator of the event? The
Yes,
mayor.
it is in the ordinance.
But that didn't
It
pass.
is in the ordinance.
It didn't pass.
It's tabled.
We can go ahead and table this one. Not ready to talk about it, but it is in the ordinance. If y'all like to go to the website and go ahead and look at the ordinance, that would be great, and then we could come back to it. Not a big deal. Number 19, so we need to talk about ordinance making some cost changes for National Night Out. Costs, I'm going to take that off the table and just go ahead and put newsletter costs and legal services
Well,
cost.
we still need to do the National Night Out.
Yeah, because myself
we need to-
and
yeah.
Alderman Thomasini put in a resolution to fund National Night Out, not more than $1,000. I don't see it on the agenda.
It's in the-
Well, it's because it's under the cost. We put it under the cost. It's already been budgeted. We've already approved every year, and we put $1,000 last year, and so it's already approved for $1,000. Right, the money's there, and I was going to go ahead and be part of that planning. I could either have somebody help with that, money distribution, and the organizing and planning implementing part, or I didn't do it last year, but I'd be happy to do it this year. I have plenty of time to do that. Newsletter cost, yes, we have a newsletter coming out. And I think it was $550. And then legal services cost, we have gone we'll probably be going over the budget soon. Cassandra has been doing double duty, Mrs. Ortiz, on her legal. She's been helping with also administrative work and also in research and things like that. So I was thinking about moving the city administrator money, the $10,000 we haven't spent, and putting it on the legal. We have spent $30,740, and we still have a few months to go. Our cap was $42,000. We're not using our administrative area, but she has been doing a lot of extra work due to the fact that we don't have an administrator. And then newsletter costs, I think, Charlotte, you, when it comes to newsletter publishing, that also includes publishing jobs and whatever we need to do in the newspaper, things like that.
Yeah, I think, the newspaper publishing has its own line.
Yeah, well, it says we spent $1,546.41, and we've budgeted $1,800. And I thought I moved some money over there already. So I don't know, what else are you using that line item for? Well, I haven't published any newsletters in any way.
Yes, we have, you published at least two.
Two. Okay, so we need more money on that line, at least for two more. Well, I need at least about They're $550, and we need 2 more. That'd be like $1,200 or $1,500 moved to that line item for the publishing of the newsletter. For 2 more newsletters.
Is this going out without correction?
How much did we need to put into the cost of the newsletter?
The newsletter this time was $500 and I believe $50 estimated cost, and that was in black and white for our residents. So we would need 1 more for the next quarter. I think that runs for us now that we're doing April, September. So that would be about $1,100, $1,200.
Is that postage and everything?
The postage and everything. Postage is $299, which I was surprised. And printing was the rest of it, $300 and something dollars for the city. Right, so it could go out. Right, I was thinking 15 just for a little extra measure in case we needed to throw something else out there. We could find another publisher. I did go to Nelson Wolf's Suburban Council meeting yesterday, and there was a publisher for the Bexar County, and they publish everything, and they publish it at cost. That's offered to the cities in Bexar County, and I do have a booklet on that I could bring forward for y'all to look at that might decrease the cost.
How many newsletters did you want to put out?
Actually, where's the officer? Could you remove BJ, please? I can't concentrate.
BJ did not say anything.
Well, what's going on here? We need to do work here.
I didn't say a word. That's wrong.
It's out of order. I can take a break if you'd like, but if I cannot preside and it is a disturbance to me as your presiding officer, I can call either a break or I can have you removed because I cannot do my job. That's my job. That is my job, Miss B.J. Gillespie. She did right now. It's out of order. Wow. It is out of order.
Wow, you're wrong.
Let's take a break. Another break, 15 minutes. Y'all are out of order. We'll come back at 8:15.
I didn't say a damn word, Ken Guma.
But she